Hello, and welcome to this video where I'm going to be going over a recipe SEO case study that I created almost a year ago now, but have been updating pretty much every 6 months, and we will be updating it in the next couple days here. So really what sparked me to make this video was seeing a lot of content on the internet that said that schema or structured data is not an effective way to actually like boost SEO or generate SEO traction. And I just don't really agree with that. I think that schema, when it's not properly implemented, is not effective for generating SEO traction. But any schema strategy that has kind of a process and a length to it is going to generate you some results. So this article I wrote, almost a year ago now, kind of touches on some of my strategy that I implemented about in May last year, and then started seeing some really big traction that led to some serious growth. And this is for some of the biggest CPG websites. So this is a website that came to me that already had a blog, and it already had hundreds of recipes there, and they wanted me to build a schema strategy for them, and they didn't really even know that they needed it. I had to tell them that they needed it. So in this article, I kind of break down. So first off, we talk about what structured data is, or what schema.org is specifically, and that's a website that is generating structured data that is available in JavaScript that you can implement on your web pages. And Google is currently recognizing those JavaScript tags as information that they can implement as what's called rich data. So if you look right here in this recipe, you can see there's a rating here, as well as reviews, how long it takes to cook, as well as how many calories. So all of this information right here, and the rating, all of this information right here is generated from structured data. Awesome. So for recipes specifically, there are tons of different types of structured data. This video is specifically on recipe structured data because I think that, people who are in the recipe space know that structured data is the way to kind of get ahead, as well as optimizing your structured data and creating a strategy around it can lead to some new keyword opportunities that you didn't really know about before. So inside of recipe schema, we have cooking time, cooking methods, nutritional facts, categories, ingredient list, instruction list, as well as the yield. So, recipe schema is in depth and has like a lot of people kind of targeting that space. So in this section, I kind of talk about why recipe schema matters, and I've already partly done that at the beginning of this video, but using schema, Google can understand some more specific information about your recipe pages, and they can use that information to create featured snippets across search. I recommend that all food blogs use schema. It can be, it's important to not just implement schema, but rather have a strategy around schema, and that's kind of what one of my services is building schema strategy around specific keyword pockets that are generally based around trends and based around things that are kind of happening, right now, because that's currently how the internet works. So in terms of the actual analytics from this case study, I'm going to be not talking in depth about what I specifically did, but rather I implemented recipe schema on several hundred pages in a very short period of time, and was able to create like a keyword targeting strategy around all of them together cohesively. So doing that, I was able to generate these results. So you can see in March of 2019, nothing was implemented. And then I implemented at the end of April here. And you can see we started getting picked up around the middle of May. And off the bat, we were starting to get anywhere from 100 clicks a day, about 100. It's a little closer to 80, to anywhere from 1.5 thousand to 2,000 impressions a day. So that's kind of what we were hitting off the bat, just by implementing Schema on all of these pages. So compared to the actual analytics that weren't featured snippets, this data is not very much. These recipes were already getting like thousands of clicks, almost millions of impressions. So these numbers are pretty minute compared to what they were already getting, but this is a big boost and a way to kind of generate more traffic. So looking at kind of the next 6 months, you can see over time we started our impressions were kind of reaching anywhere from 3K to 4K. So pretty much doubled the first 6 months. And then we started getting these really big peaks where one day we had one of our recipes get the featured snippet clicked almost 450 times. So that's something that recipe structure data can also lead to, is getting a boost in traction and getting some kind of sporadic points where things are really doing well. Something I want to touch on is this dip right here. So there's a dip from 8.7 to, and then it started going back up to the end of September there. So this is what happens when Google changes what needs to be inside of your structured data and how your structured data needs to be formatted. On this day specifically, there was a change in how they were reading recipe structured data, and we needed to, so I was watching Search Console and saw that structured data was failing. So they'll tell you inside of Search Console, assuming that you're looking there, that your structured data is no longer working and that it needs to be revised. So then we figured out kind of what the problem was, and then we got back up to where we were. So, we were a lot after this fall. We actually had a lot better stats going back into it, which is interesting. So I think one thing to note is that probably a lot of our competitors did not catch this as fast as we did. I caught it within like 1 week, and we were able to update almost 300 recipes within another week. So it was pretty easy for us to kind of adjust, whereas some of our competitors might be slower. So that's something to consider inside of structured data. This is an opportunity if you're a smaller website to get ahead of some of the giants and take some of their space when things change, as long as you're staying up to date. So that's kind of the benefit of paying for a consultant like me, is that I'm monitoring your structured data pretty much every day, where if there are any changes, we can just go ahead and run a patch that updates structured data across the whole site. So yeah, and that's the update after 6 months. So here I talk about why the recipes are losing traffic, and then a little pitch to build your SEO strategy. So essentially, I wanted to make this video to explain that recipe SEO is an effective way to generate traffic, and an effective way for food blogs, food websites, recipe websites, fitness websites, anybody that has recipes to start generating more impressions and traffic for their website, because it's essentially just allowing Google to understand your content better, because they do want to display it. They just might not understand it all the way. So when they create featured snippets, they're able to show that content to people across mobile devices, as well as just pretty much any format of the Google search engine. So thanks for watching this video. I'm going to go ahead and link this article below if you want to check out this article for yourself. And if you want a consultation on your recipe SEO, or just some information on how you can improve your targeting strategies, hit my contact and I will definitely talk to you. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.